So a man in his 60s goes to the doctor for a checkup, and the doctor was kind of just fascinated at how healthy he was. And he said, wow, this is pretty incredible. You're so healthy. I really can't find anything wrong with you. And he said, well, you know, I need to know more about your family history. How old was your dad when he died? And the man said, well, who said he died? And my father's in his 80s, and he works every day. He plays tennis 2 days a week. He golfs all throughout the weekend. You know, he lives in St. Petersburg, Florida. I mean, he's all that, you know. And the doctor said, God, that's amazing. Well, how old was his dad when he died? And the man said, well, who said he died? My 102-year-old grandfather said, well, as a matter of fact, we all went there to Boston as a family because my grandfather, he just married again. And the doctor said, why in the world would a 102-year-old man want to get married? And the man said, who said he wanted to? You see, when it comes to what is physically possible for our body temple, there's a big distinction between facts and spiritual truth. The very nature of how unity has its foundation is based upon founders that did not buy into the fact of just facts, but elated in the possibility of spiritual truths. They were clearly able to understand that every physical body is not a one-size-fits-all, and every physical body is an individuation of God. According to that particular person's understanding is what is possible expressing through them as that sacred temple of expression. Are you with me? When we look at the Unity Foundation itself, Myrtle Fillmore was told repeatedly that she was going to die from tuberculosis. And she said, I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit disease. Well, now the scientists are proving that all the time. That we, in our own humanity, through our understanding of our mind and our ability of our consciousness, we can break through the barriers of even our DNA. But see, the Fillmores knew this, you see, and they practiced it. As well as Charles Fillmore, one of his legs was shorter than the other. And over the years, guess what happened? He made it grow. Today, he would be a modern John of God. Everybody agree? Yeah. So, because these things are possible with the relationship that we have within our physical being, Buddha said very clearly, your life, your body is precious. It is the vehicle for your awakening. That's powerful. It's the vehicle for your awakening. It doesn't say just be spiritual and forget about your body altogether. It says it is part of the necessity in your humanity to know the understanding of how connected you are and what is possible for you. Yes? It's that deeper connection. You know, sometimes when I think about unity, we're only over 100 years old. We're still a very young movement, you know? But I think sometimes we don't push unity enough. We don't stretch it enough. We tend to kind of bring it down to the basics of, you know, I want to meet somebody who love me. You know, I want to learn how to use my mind better, or, you know, I want to get a new job, and, you know, I want to have, healthy grandchildren. I want to be very successful. There's nothing wrong with all that. That's beautiful. And yes, all of those things are attainable. But what about the fact of what we could be physically in our bodies if we don't forget that we're Unity students? If we don't just buy into facts of advertisers and commercials, of saying what we need to do when we get to be a certain age, or if we're not at that age yet, to make us more this and more that. What if we actually apply the principles that say that we are part of an unwavering movement of the infinity of God, and therefore it is possible for, by the time we leave this earth and this dimension, as Carolyn Sutherland would say, all that's left are our shoes. And the rest of us is just an energetic field. Can you buy that? Yeah. And what is it about you that you have bought into an idea about your body already because of the age that you are or the age that you aren't. Or what your parents had, or what your grandparents had, or your aunt had, or whatever, because you have bought into this concept of, well, they said this is how it's going to be, so, well, this is how it's going to be. It doesn't have to be your truth at all. By the time I was a teenager, I was already told I was going to have asthma like my grandmother. I was going to have a hysterectomy, see, I don't even know how to say it, hysterectomy, like my aunt, because, I complained a couple of times of some aches and and I was already told I needed to have surgery by the time I was like 15. But to do a mental check and say, does that feel right for me? I am an individual of God. Say that with me. I am an individual of God. I don't have to be my truth at all. At all. I used to teach a course for a number of years called Meditation or Medication. And they're actually proving now that many people who use the ongoing practice of meditation, they have proven many times that some people are able to lessen their medication about certain things or eliminate it altogether. Now again, remember, I said there's no one size fits all. But with meditation, what I'm talking about today is, because we say in unity, when I pray, I'm declaring to God what I'm seeking, and when I'm meditating, I'm allowing that declaration of God to express through me. But I'm talking about the deeper sense of listening. I'm talking about a meditation designed specifically for your body. So that you have this art of listening, and so you hear your body tell you what it currently wants and needs. Many people still eat the same foods that they had on their table back in the 1940s and the 70s and never have questioned if my body really wants it. People take supplements, never muscle test. People take the new thing, never ask the question. People put things into their bodies that if they read the side effects, it would be like, whoa. One of my dearest friends was given a prescription not long ago that on the back of it, it said, this could be fatal. I'm just saying, that's real special. But what the deeper part about it is, I'm not here to make your choices today. I'm here to ask you to know what choices you're making. I'm here for you to hold the space of what you believe and why you believe it and who told you that that has to be true. Listening. Not long ago, I was listening and I feel a little off in my energy. I just feel like I need an adjustment of some kind. And I kept getting this message that it was my metabolism. And I went, that's what it is. I know, yeah, it's my metabolism. And so I found myself a few weeks ago at this conference, and I sat down beside this guy, and he was just really perky and, kind of full of himself. He was kind of energetic, And I went, God, what's up? What are you into? He said, I just discovered this thing, this book. It's called The Fast Metabolism Diet. And he said, and it has changed my life. It's changed the way I eat. It's changed the way I feel. Well, that book was bought by Amazon and beat me home. You know what I'm saying? That would be it. Yeah, let's go. Because it's like, that's that. And that same connection is what all of us experience and all of us witness, and we do it different ways, but it's imperative that we listen to our inner being. Every meal needs to be a sacred, holy, bold experience. A sacred, holy experience. People are so critical sometimes of their churches, but they never will criticize food that they are feeding their soul and their spirit. It is so invaluable to your life and your well-being. There's a cute little story of a woman talking about her teenage son. He had just turned 15, and he went to Manhattan as a tourist, and he was walking down the street, and two men started following him pretty close, and they said, son, we want your wallet. Give up your wallet. And he said, no. son, you may not get this, but we're robbers, and we're going to get you if you don't give up your wallet. And the young guy looked at him and said, no. And he said, pretty soon he looked around and they weren't following him anymore. And he's telling this story to his dad. And his dad said, son, do you realize what you just did? I mean, weren't you scared? You know, they were robbers and they were wanting your wallet and you wouldn't give it up. Why in the world wouldn't you give them your wallet? And he looked, you know, he says to me, he said, well, because it had my learner's permit in it. You know, that was like one of the greatest moments of our lives, wasn't it? For those of you that were actually listening, otherwise you'd watch it online. But remember the learner's permit? Remember how invaluable that thing was that you had in your purse or your wallet? You just loved it, loved it, loved it. Well, that's the part I'm asking you today about your physical dimension, is that you hold on. Don't let life rob you of a misunderstanding of what your physical body can do and be for you, that essence, that energy, that glory, that Christ consciousness. Don't let yourself be robbed of that. Get yourself your own favorite learner's permit and understand what it is that you need to have a vibrant life. The first time I spoke here, I stand corrected. It had been about the third time I spoke here, and Reverend Allen asked me to come in, and I talked about change your energy, change your life. Because I had spent a lot of years in metaphysical settings, talking to myself and other people, and I understood that there was so much more than just change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, change your life is a very powerful thing. We all need to be aware of it, of what we're saying, what we're affirming. But I came to realize that the bigger part was that it was about your energy. And you can memorize all the different affirmations in the world about the law of attractiveness and the law of attraction. But unless that energy field is one of a vibration that can maintain that particular thing that you're asking for, it just goes right on by. And so I realized the importance and the connection of why our energy essence is so valuable, especially when we're out there in the universe and we are expressing that we are new thought, that we believe there is an infinite universe, that God's about wholeness and vibration in life. We want to look as profound as all the birds out there over at St. Pete Beach. Are you with me? You know, I mean, don't be going around like this, like, I'm going to be on a bigger. No, it's about love. I get younger every day. I feel more dynamic every day. I feel more alive every day. Oh my God. I get so excited every day. No. I'm not buying into that stuff. No. That's not my truth, because I know the difference between spiritual truth and I know the difference between what is fact. That's what you buy into. Spiritual truth is what lives through you. There's a big difference, you see. And I love every time, Steph, that was great. I love every time I hear somebody perform Amazing Grace, or when I sing it with myself, because I'm mindful of how that song came about. It came about by a man that was buying facts, John Newton. He was buying facts that all he was ever going to amount to was a slave captain. He had numerous ailments, problems, issues, and challenges because he was going against the grain of his life. Until he had this great awakening. And he realized that his spiritual truth, his reality, is that he was to be more. And he sat down and wrote the song. That literally he had been saved from his own misunderstanding of what life could be. We just scratched the surface. Does this work for you? Because I've got just a few more minutes. Because I think everybody in this room can live to be 150. And if the Phil Moores and Ernest Holmes can double their life expectancy, then why can't you? Why can't you? And scary that some of you wouldn't even entertain it. So it's a wake-up call. Because why can't we? If we can do everything else, why can we not? I love this reading from Samuel Ullman. Youth is not a time of life. It is a state of mind. It is not a matter of rosy cheeks and lips. It is a matter of the will, a quality of the imagination, a vigor of the emotions. It is the freshness of the deep springs of life. Youth means a temperamental predominance of courage over timidity of the appetite. or adventure over the love of ease. This often exists in a man of 60 more than a boy of 20. Nobody grows old merely by a number of years. We grow old by deserting our ideals. That's what I'm talking about. Deserting our ideals. Understanding that the truth of the matter, the spiritual truth, is the more numbers we put on our life, more energy we ought to have. Why? Because we now focus on what is so important and what really matters. We're less stressful. We're more focused. We take time in a very different window. So literally, we ought to all be bouncing around, outdoing every teenager sitting here on the pews. And I'm going to be some competition for them. I'm just saying, what about you? Right? Because you tune into that. You tune into that vibration and you tune into that field because we are all, that energy is available to all of us. We must receive it. We must believe it. We must allow it. We must connect with it. You know, it also is prevalent that there's a big difference between what you're eating and what's eating you. Because that's an energy zap. Totally an energy zapper. Carolyn Mace, in the book, The Spirit of the Anatomy, says very clearly that you want to look at the overview of your life. You want to do an inventory. You want to look at it every now and then and check in and say, what part of my body has an ailment? Why is my knee hurting? Why is my, oh, that's my elbow, excuse me. Well, I was like, okay, well, that's going down the far. Okay, I'll pull it up for you. So anyway, why is, I know the difference, I just want you to know. So why is my elbow hurting? You know, why is my knee aching? Why is this going on? What is it telling me, you see? And she says, really spend time to check in. What is it telling me? Practice. What is it telling me? Practice. What is it telling me? And you ask yourself that because then you're able to go into, well, it's because of the job I have that I don't really like. It's because I keep pretending that I want to be in this relationship and I don't. Well, it's because of this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is, it brings to us a new education. We also become keenly aware of the people that we are around, that we have energy because we're with them. You know, Jesus knew this. That's why he checked the energy. You know, he could read auras and all that stuff. And he checked in and found the greatest 12 he could find and said, let's hang out together. We could do voting together also, you know. Let's hang out together because it's important for the people that are in your boat that they have a high vibration of energy. It's very crucial and very important. And also to be able to check in with the people that because you're with them, you feel flat. You know, you can go over to visit them and you're just so high and everything. And I'm really, I need some tahini and a sweet potato. You know, it's like, no. So you want to check in with that and be aware and make that connection of how important and valuable it is. Because energy, that is where we have been given the wrong information. We all have the same amount of energy. It's not what you're doing, it's the judgment of what you're doing that takes your energy. It's not what you're doing, it's the judgment of what you're doing that's taking your energy. Amen. I've never seen a worn out egret over on St. Pete Beach. I've never seen the skimmers stop skimming. You know, any of nature's not walking around complaining because they just don't know how everybody can do it. They're just tired. No. It's an energy field. It's magnetic. It's electrifying. The more energy you give is the more that comes back to you. That's why we teach energy here. That's why we have Wednesday night energy, because we believe in it, because it works. What energy in your life are you ready to have starting right here and starting right now? Let's get our teenagers.